I'm not a waitress, but I'll take that tip. I do miss Brian's reaction. I'm not going to lie. This is my second solo episode. And as we talked about in our last podcast, Brian is traveling so much that it's going to be me running a lot more solo episodes. I think the plan is that we'll do maybe 2 to 3 of me doing all by myself a month. And then Brian will join us when he's capable, when he's in town. And honestly, I miss him already. I miss him whenever he's gone, but I miss him particularly when I sit down for these episodes because I think I don't know. I just love the guy. I just love his reactions. I love getting to horrify him. That's my love language. It's definitely my love language. Welcome to season 2 of Appropriately Inappropriate with Tara and Brian. You may know us from social media where I horrify my dear sweet husband. He is here in spirit, or at least his head is, with something inappropriate or filthy. Here on this podcast, you get hilarious stories, our responses to listener questions, and whatever y'all send to us. Make sure to DM us or text us at 1-904-867-4466. Follow us too at Tara Blairball on Instagram or TikTok, or at Tara.Blairball on YouTube. Our full video episodes also appear on our YouTube. And if you like this podcast, also consider supporting the show. We have options that are easy subscription based at the show notes. Brian is traveling. He's currently in the city of Chicago and will be there until tomorrow evening. I did put out a video yesterday about how I would love if y'all would help me participate in a prank on Brian, a good, not harming kind of prank. So this is the suggestion that I had, that if you happen to see Brian, whether it's in Chicago while he's there, or Memphis, where we currently live, or when he travels next, if you happen to see Brian, I would love if you would go up to him, confirm that it is in fact him, because I've had a lot of comments and DMs being like, were you guys at the place? And we were not. So confirm at first that it's him. Are you Tara's husband from social media? Are you Brian from Tara and Brian? Confirm that it's him. After he says yes, say, your wife sent me, and then boop him on the nose. Just like a boop. One thing I would love to see, if there's anybody who wants to video this or whatever, I would love to see someone aggressively say, your wife sent me. I'm thinking Liam Neeson's Taken, your wife sent me, and then boop, run away. I just think that would be hysterical. And I would love my dear sweet honey to send me text messages of, this person booped me today. What is that about? They said you sent me. I would love that so much. He is currently in Chicago. He's in the South Loop area. He has such a soft, squishy heart, and he really loves meeting our fans. He texted me yesterday that he'd gotten a selfie request. So yeah, be gentle boops, and I'm sure he'll love it. And I honestly, as his wife, I would love hearing it. I would love to hear about all the boops that he's received, because when he's not here, he's not getting booped. And that's just sad. Keith needs to get booped wherever he happens to go. I also just recently received 120 mini eggplants that are pretty small, but they have really long tips. And so my first thought is I'm going to hide them in all of his stuff while he's away and let him find them as we go. So that's my next little prank. You got to keep the love alive. I did write some pickup lines for Chicago to share with my love, or you to share with yours. Are you a deep dish pizza? Or do I just really like when you go deep in me? Can I take you to go see the Bean? Or can I just show you mine? Want to go to Wrigley Field and watch a home run, or come back to my place and make one yourself? You and the Chicago Bulls got one thing in common. Great D. That segues well into a question I got from a listener with, how do you keep the love alive while long distance? Brian and I have not been long distance for extended periods of time a lot. The longest we've been apart has been 2 weeks. He was in Brazil for 2 weeks years ago. So we haven't been apart for an extended period of time, but Brian does travel a lot. His work trips are generally 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. They're usually in the middle of the week. It's very rare that he'll be traveling over a weekend. So we do have practice in what to do when the other is away for this period of time. What I had to recognize over time is how important it was to stay connected I'm at home, solo parenting. Kids are a lot, taking care of kids, getting them to school, getting them to activities, homework done, fed, all of that, plus doing my job. That's a lot to have that all on me. And so Brian was not really texting or calling much because of that. He was like, oh, she's busy. I don't want to interrupt her. And then I wasn't texting or calling him much because I was like, oh, he's on his work trip and he's at this conference or he has these meetings. And so he's busy too. And I just started to feel, I don't know, disconnected when he would get home because it would be like he'd be gone for 2 days and we wouldn't really talk or text much. And then he'd get home and we would be updating each other about each other's days while we were apart once we got to see each other again. And I finally got to the point, I was like, why am I just assuming he's busy the whole time? Why don't I just try reaching out? So the last couple of trips, I've just randomly called him in the middle of the day or I've texted him and I've really blown his phone up and he'll respond when he's able. But I think it's important to just remember that it feels good to get reached out to. It does. Brian, when he travels a lot, he often asks me for his outfit suggestions. Brian has to wear corporate business outfits. So he's got a blazer or a suit coat and then a collared shirt and then a tie and then the belt and then the pants and then the shoes. It's a lot of things that have to match. So he'll often get my opinion on what things to wear. And today, when he sent me the text of the outfit options, I didn't have time to respond. But then later he sent me his final choice of what he had picked. And I think also it's just good being flirty. And I was like, looks good. I'd fuck those clothes off you. I think it's good to be like flirty and sexy, even when you're apart, even when sex isn't an option or on the table, because it reminds your partner that, hey, they still like me. Hey, they still think about banging me, boning me, whatever it might be. I think that's something Brian and I do really well. As Brian's been traveling a lot, I have noticed that I just have a lot more time on my hands, especially because my kids go to bed at 8:30, 9 at night, sometimes as early as 7:30, depending on how active of a day that they have had. And so I'm just left alone. And usually at that time, I could call Brian, but generally he's like at work meetings or he might be at the gym or whatever. So it's not necessarily a good time for he and I to connect. Usually I take that time to shower, take a bath, that kind of thing. Last night, after I took a shower, I looked in the mirror and I was like, you know what? I want bangs. I want bangs. So between having that thought and cutting my own hair was about 30 seconds. I posted about this on social media, and a hairstylist suggested to never have hair cutting scissors in your own bathroom for this exact reason, because 30 seconds between having the thought, I'm going to cut my own bangs, and cutting my own hair, it had happened. Okay, so I cut my bangs. I called Brian. I FaceTimed him pretty soon after I had cut them and then blow dried my hair to assess whether I liked them, how I felt about them, that kind of thing. And Brian, when he saw them, he was like, oh. Now, I know my husband. I know him very well. And I know when he does or does not like something. And the fact that he wasn't immediately, oh, they look great, tells me everything that I need to know. That man did not like them. That man will not tell me that he does not like them, and that's fine. God love him. He's never going to tell me that I look ugly. That's not how he's wired, okay? So I know that this man hates my bangs. I know that. I know that he had some kind of reaction that I don't know why, that he did not like the bangs. I was curious, and I went to the wilds of the internet and typed in, why does my husband hate my bangs? And what I discovered is that there's a large segment of the male population that feels really strongly about bangs. Now, if you're not located in the United States, what I learned is that you don't call them bangs, you call them fringe, okay? It seems like a lot of men have strong feelings about bangs or fringe, and it's a very passionate discourse. I love them. They look great. They look fantastic. They look great only if they look like this. They look terrible. Those people will never be fucked. It's very passionate. I didn't know that bangs could be so divisive. So I posted it to social media. And I got some comments like, oh, they look good, or they look bad, or I don't care what her hair looks like, or it's harder to pull. That's a good comment. We like that one. Another person said it looked like an enhanced mullet, which, okay. You cannot spell bangs without bang. I think for that reason, I should have bangs, because you can't spell bangs without bang. Okay? Without bang, giggity bang. Okay? And here's the pickup line. Do these bangs make me look more bangable? Another person asked, are you going to next do the G.I. Jane, Demi Moore style buzz cut? Okay. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. I haven't talked about this a lot in the podcast, but I have had every hairstyle imaginable. I had a buzzed head in high school. I had a buzzed head in college. I've had mohawks. I've had my hair every color of the rainbow. I've had faux hawks, mohawks. I've had hair down to my butt. I've had fringes, bangs. Hair grows back. And I'll just tell you the story of my high school hair buzzing, okay? Because it really just tells you the kind of girl I was growing up. There was a girl that I was in class with who I just thought she was the coolest. I just thought she was so cool. She just really was. She was an artist. She would do cool stuff with clothes. She seemed so confident and self-assured. I thought she was beautiful. I idolized her. I just thought she was the coolest. One day in class, she said, I would really love to do a buzz cut. I think I might look good with one. And I had never considered in my life whether I should have a buzz cut or not. That is never a thought that had crossed my head. But I thought and said aloud, yeah, me too. I've always thought about doing a buzz cut. And then she said, I think I'm going to do it. And I said, me too. Who shows up the next day to school with a buzz cut? And who doesn't? I'll just tell you, it was me who showed up to school with a buzz cut. And that other girl was like, oh, it looks good. So I shaved all of my hair off before school the next day because I thought me and this girl were going to do it together. We were going to be buzz buddies. And somehow that would translate to some kind of friendship that never happened. I was left with the buzz and she was not. She made the right choice. I did not. So I've had a buzz. I've done the G.I. Jane. I've done the mohawks. I've done it all. And I don't have any qualms in cutting or coloring hair because it all comes back. And who cares in the interim? And people might say, your husband won't find you attractive. I will put a bag over my head and spread my legs, and I bet that man will be just fine. I have no doubt that man will be taken care of just fine. That man has seen my organs outside of my body because that's what happens with a C-section. They cut you open, lift out some of your organs so they can get to your uterus and your placenta to cut all that open. He watched it all. He smelled when they cauterized my wound. He smelled burning flesh. Okay? And he still had his way with me later. Okay? He saw all that and wasn't turned off for a minute. And this is the same man whose favorite sandwich from McDonald's is a Big Mac. I think I'm okay in that area. I don't have a lot of concerns in that area. So don't tempt me. I'll do it. I have no problems with doing it. But I honestly, at this big age that I am, I really prefer, I'm just going to do my little bangs, my little impulsive bangs, and see how that goes. I do wonder if there is a male equivalent. Is there an equivalent of, I'm going to think something, I'm going to do it 30 seconds later, and then my friends are going to think differently about me for whatever reason? Could it be texting a girl? Is that why a lot of women receive those WYD texts in the middle of the night? Is it something as mundane as buying Busch Light instead of Bud Light? I don't know. I would love to know if there is an equivalent that is as divisive as bangs seem to be. But I was also told that bangs do make you look younger. Do I look younger? In my big 40s? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the bangs. I like them for now, so we'll see how it goes. But if there is a male equivalent of cutting bangs, please let me know. DM or text us. I would love to know what it might be. If Brian was here, I would ask him. Recently, I got a question, which was, what kind of job do I do? Because I was sharing about Brian's corporate job and how he's done that ever since he and I ever met. The job that I do for my husband usually has the word hand or blow in front of it. What job do I do outside of those? I do this. The content that we do is actually my job. I was a teacher when Brian and I met, and I had been a teacher for 12 years when he and I met. And it wasn't until I started doing content creation, which started as blogging and then the social media videos, that I was making more than I was teaching, and I enjoyed it more. It gave me a lot more freedom, the ability to spend more time with my children, the fact that I wasn't having to drop my kids off every day for daycare, that I could make sure to be at all of their events because I wasn't having a full-time in an office every day, Monday through Friday. It gave me a lot more freedom. When I think back to who I was as like a little teacher, it's just a long winding road to how I got here. But this is the job that I do now. I do the writing, the filming, the editing, the posting, the scheduling, the responding to comments. That is my full-time job. And Brian is my Robin. And I'm Batman. And that's a good position for the two of us. It means that I'm on top. It does. And you know what's good about being on top? I get to control the rhythm. And I got to make sure that I come. It's a good part of it. Next question is, will I ever narrate an audiobook? In the last solo episode that I did, I'd written a letter as if it was an historical document. And I had read it really breathy. Dearest husband. I would absolutely narrate an audiobook that I had written. And I would love to write something filthy. Do I have the time for it right now? No. It's on the docket of things that I will do. I'm not sure when. I love writing. I have a master's in creative writing and poetry, actually. I even have several poetry books that I have written and published that came out years ago under the last name that I had when I was previously married. So partly that's why I don't advertise them. It feels like that was a different life. It's not the person I am today. Were they funny? No. They were really dark and serious and had very uncomfy topics. I really like having and being more light in the world. I like that we get to make y'all laugh. I like that we get to laugh. I like that we get to be silly and have fun and that y'all enjoy it. It's a dream to be able to do what we're doing now. So yes, I would love to do that. Last question, are there more like me? I see this question a lot. And the question really is, are there more women like me? And the answer is yes, absolutely. The majority of our audiences, we have across our platforms, I think we have around 4 million followers across all of our platforms. And this is TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We have about 4 million followers across all of those platforms. Our content gets viewed millions of times a month. In 90 days, we might have 152 million views just on one platform from our content. And the majority of those viewers are women. Yeah, the majority of our viewers are women. It's pretty close. It's usually like 60% women, 40% men. On certain platforms, it's definitely more men than women. But we are out there. We are out there. And we're out there loving making like cute jokes and feeling safe and comfy to do that. We are out there. I'm the woman I am today because of the man I'm with. Did I have this inside of me? Always. But my husband helped me feel safe and comfortable and secure enough to not only be this person with him, but then share that person with everybody else. I don't think I could be this way with anyone other than him. I'm very lucky. I'm very rich in life because of the person I'm with and the life that we've built together and share together. It's just a fact that I feel very rich because of that. There's more like me. If you're wanting a woman like me, which I think this is the question that our single male listeners and watchers have, is work on being the kind of man you want to be. Here's the advice I'll offer. Before Brian and I ever met, I had what's called a dating non-negotiable list. This was a list of qualities that I wanted in a romantic partner. Loving, trusting, faithful, kind, reciprocal, not just selfless, but like reciprocal, like matching energy kind of thing. Someone who had a job, someone who had a passion, someone who had close, intimate friendships. I made that list of all the qualities I wanted in a partner. And these were character traits. These weren't how they looked because I wasn't going to date someone I wasn't attracted to. So that didn't really matter. And it's shallow and can change. So I focused just on those character traits. I made that list. And then I looked at that list and compared it to myself. I was like, am I loving? Am I kind? Do I have genuine, intimate friendships? And all of the ones that I could see, that I could look at and think, I don't really have, that's what I worked on. That was my path to working on. So I could be the kind of woman that would attract the kind of man that I wanted. And Brian actually did something similar. He didn't call it a dating non-negotiable list, but he said he had done something similar where he had a bad track record of people he had dated. And so he worked on becoming the kind of person that would attract the kind of person he wanted. I always think like attracts like. We're opposites in a lot of ways, but at our core, we're very similar. We're very giving, kind people. And I think that's part of what makes our relationship work. We're happy because we are those kind of people. At our core, we're extremely similar. And when you're thinking about adding to this list too, hobbies don't matter. Tastes don't matter. Brian and I have very different hobbies. Clearly, he's a wholesome one and I'm the filthy one. Those are some big differences, but they are still compatible because at our core, we're the same. So if you're wanting a relationship that seems fun and built on play and flirtation, finding someone that could be that person for you by first looking at what can you change. That's something you can control. I didn't cry today, y'all. I didn't cry. I feel like that's something to celebrate. That's not something that you need to come to expect from solo episodes with me is, oh God, can't listen to solo episodes because Tara's going to cry again. And I do want to point out, I don't think I said this in our last episode, I'm really not a crier. It actually took Brian years to ever see or hear me cry because that's not my temperament. I'm not really a crier. And for me to cry 2 times in a single episode is just a lot. That's too much. Hey, as long as I don't talk about how much I love Brian and how he helps me with my self-esteem issues, I think I'm okay. Make sure to subscribe, download, and follow if you liked this podcast. Also, make sure to write a review. And if you have a comment, story, or question, text us at 1-904-867-4466 or DM us. We're also at Tara Blairball on Instagram and TikTok or at Tara.Blairball on YouTube. Our full video episodes appear on our YouTube. Until next time, keep it inappropriate and happy hump day.